Hey, what's up, buddy? Good morning, buddy. How are you feeling today? Giselle, we right here, baby. We gonna make some magic tonight?
Nobody expected it to go down like this. French Montana, the coke boy who flexed like he ran the game, just got clowned by Meek Mill in the dirtiest way possible. Word on the street. French ain't leveling up, he's selling himself out. And not to the charts, not to the fans, but straight to the Dubai King. Yeah, you heard that right. The same French who built his whole image hanging off Diddy's arm is now being accused of switching sides, securing royal protection like it's a security contract. Meek didn't hold back, mocking French as a man who traded loyalty for luxury. And the timing? Beyond suspicious. Just as Diddy's scandals heat up, French pops out with a Dubai princess on his arm, parading like it's true love while the internet screams, gold digger. Coincidence? Or calculated survival? Fans are digging up old receipts, shady clips, and even that viral happy birthday video with Diddy that nobody can forget. The whispers are loud. French owes favors, French is hiding, and French might have just sold more than his soul for that royal bag. So what's real, love, loyalty, or pure survival? Let's break it down. It started with a laugh, Meek Mill taking shots in his usual clowning tone, but what he dropped on French Montana has snowballed into the biggest scandal of the year. Meek didn't just troll, he ripped the curtain down on a move that fans had already been side-eyeing. French Montana, once known as Diddy's shadow, now rebranded as Dubai royalty's favorite son? The internet called cap immediately, but Meek put it on blast. French sold himself. Not metaphorically. Literally. For protection. The setup was picture perfect for Instagram fairy tales. French Montana and Princess Shikamara, posing in Dubai palaces, snapping shots on camel rides, dripping in royal wealth like they just unlocked a new lifestyle DLC pack. But fans who've been watching the game long enough know when a love story feels more like a cover story. The timing? Brutal. Just weeks before Diddy's Rico mess started boiling over, French conveniently popped out with a royal engagement. Romance became the cover, but the whispers were already in the streets. This wasn't about love, this was about survival. And Meek Mill? He knew exactly how to stir the pot. By clowning French publicly, he gave voice to what everybody was already thinking. That French Montana didn't climb into luxury by talent or hustle. He got strapped into the Dubai royal jet because his American safety net collapsed. Diddy, the man who once gave him wings, was now radioactive. Every artist connected to him was either running, hiding, or trying to rewrite history. French's engagement wasn't just romance, it was insurance. The princess herself, Shikamara, came with her own whirlwind of headlines. Fresh off a messy divorce that went public on Instagram. Yes, literally dropping the triple, "I divorce you," in a dramatic post. She wasn't exactly stepping into a quiet second marriage. Her father, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, ruler of Dubai, vice president and prime minister of the UAE. This wasn't just some socialite with a tiara. This was one of the most politically charged, high-profile families in the world. And that's where fans started asking the real questions. How did French Montana even meet her? How does a rapper whose biggest claim to fame is hanging on Diddy's yacht suddenly end up engaged to Dubai royalty? Reports said they'd been linked since 2024, spotted in Paris, Morocco, even religious sites like mosques. Cute, sure, but the timeline was messy. The princess was still married through most of 2023. French's sudden appearances with her just happened to sync up with the moment she walked away from her ex. For gossip blogs, it wasn't hard to piece together. French was playing chess, not checkers. Meek Mill's jab, selling himself to the Dubai King, wasn't just a random insult. It was a surgical strike. Because marrying into that family doesn't just mean wealth and luxury. It means access to power, global connections, and, most importantly, protection. The same kind of protection that people whispered French had lost once Diddy was under fire. Fans were quick to connect the dots. French and Diddy weren't just casual business partners. They were inseparable. Vacations together, business launches, even those viral birthday clips where Diddy serenaded French like he was the star of the show. Internet never forgot the shirtless, oiled-up French sitting while Diddy crooned, happy birthday, like it was some soap opera scene. Memes flooded social media for years. To the public, their relationship always looked too close for comfort. So when Diddy's empire started crumbling under allegations, investigations, and whispers of skeletons that might crawl out in court, French's distance became obvious. No more cozy appearances, no more zero drink promotions, no more yacht trips. Suddenly, French was flying across the globe, posting royal engagements, flexing camels instead of champagne. To many, it looked like the ultimate betrayal. Running from the man who built you, straight into the arms of a family powerful enough to bury any scandal under layers of money and political reach. Meek Mill's clowning gave the internet permission to call French what they already suspected, a gold digger with a passport upgrade. Tweets went viral, Diddy launched his career, but the Dubai king secured his future. Another fan posted, "Everyone thought French got rich off his music, but tell me one hit? Nah, he's been collecting connections like Pokemon cards." The narrative was out of French's control. And then came the backlash from Dubai watchers. People reminded fans that this wasn't a normal family. Princess Latifah and Princess Shamsa's attempted escapes had already made global headlines. Stories of kidnappings, forced returns, and silenced voices painted Sheikh Mohammed as one of the most powerful and feared figures in the region. If French thought he was escaping one kind of danger by distancing himself from Diddy, he may have walked straight into another that makes American scandals look like playground drama. But French wasn't backing down. Photos of him and Sheikh Amara continued to flood social media, eating in fancy restaurants, lounging in desert villas, walking hand in hand in Paris. To his fans, it looked like flex. To his critics, it looked like desperation. Every post screamed, "Look at me, I'm safe now. I've upgraded." And yet, the shadow of Diddy lingered. No matter how many times French posed with royalty, the internet never forgot the old clips. They resurfaced faster than he could delete. That infamous French Vanilla Zero commercial. The birthday serenade. The vacations. The whispers that Diddy held serious dirt over him. If those secrets ever came to light, no palace wall would be tall enough to protect him. So when Meek Mill dragged him, calling it what it looked like, selling himself, the wound hit deep. Because this wasn't just rap beef anymore. It wasn't about music. It was about survival, betrayal, and the uncomfortable question: how far will someone go to escape the fallout of their past? The engagement might have given French Montana a shiny new storyline, but the ghosts of his past refused to stay buried. For every camel ride picture he posted in Dubai, the internet dragged up another clip of him and Diddy, arm in arm, acting inseparable. It was like trying to erase a tattoo with a magic marker. And Meek Mill's jab? That just made the world dig deeper. Let's be clear, French Montana didn't become French Montana on his own. Everyone in hip-hop knows Diddy stamped his career. From the Zero vodka deal to vacation flexes on yachts, Diddy pulled French out of obscurity and draped him in luxury. He wasn't just a mentor, he was the engine behind French's whole image. Without Diddy, French was just another mixtape rapper trying to survive. With Diddy, he was suddenly global, sitting courtside, throwing parties, and sipping champagne like he invented success. But loyalty in this game is fragile. The moment Diddy's empire started crumbling under lawsuits and investigations, French moved like the floor was lava. No more pictures together, no more bromance vibes, no more birthday serenades. One fan said it best: French was Diddy's shadow. Now he's acting like he never met him. Fake is an understatement. The rumors only got dirtier. Whispers spread that Diddy had French locked under serious leverage, the kind of compromising secrets that could end a career in one headline. Some claimed Diddy orchestrated situations that French could never walk back from, keeping him on a short leash. The infamous birthday video? People dissected it like it was the Zapruder film. French sitting shirtless, Diddy grinning, singing with a twinkle in his eye. It wasn't just a meme, it was evidence. Evidence of a relationship that was way deeper than business. And when the scandal around Diddy grew louder, raids, lawsuits, accusations piling up like dirty laundry, fans started asking why French was so quiet. Why wasn't he defending the man who made him? Why wasn't he standing by the same person he used to follow on jets and vacations? The answer, according to the internet: fear. French knows if Diddy goes down, he's taking half the industry with him, one user wrote. That royal engagement is nothing but witness protection in a turban. Brutal words, but they spread fast. Screenshots flew around Twitter, TikTok breakdowns popped up, YouTubers dug up every French Diddy interaction they could find. The narrative wasn't just scandal anymore, it was survival. And that's what made Meek Mill's clowning so lethal. He tapped into the fear everyone already suspected. That French wasn't celebrating a fairy tale engagement, he was securing protection from a king who could shield him from the fallout. A king whose power stretched far beyond music, courts, or blogs. The timing was impossible to ignore. Just as Diddy's name became toxic, French was suddenly in love with one of the most powerful women in the Middle East. Fans called it what it looked like, a lifeline. French is a male gold digger, one viral tweet said. When the sugar daddy runs out, you find a sugar kingdom. Another user joked, he didn't marry for love. He married for Wi-Fi that the FBI can't reach. The memes got uglier. Old clips of Diddy and French hugging were stitched into new videos captioned, "From bromance to royal romance, the rebrand nobody asked for." Screenshots of Diddy naming a Ciroc flavor after him, French vanilla, were dragged back into circulation. Even casual fans who never cared about French's music suddenly had an opinion. This wasn't about beats, bars, or Billboard. This was about escaping Diddy's shadow before it collapsed entirely. And while French paraded through Dubai smiling like a man who found true love, the whispers grew louder that Diddy wasn't done with him. Industry insiders hinted that Diddy might start leaking dirt if his circle abandoned him. Receipts are coming, one anonymous source teased. Whether true or not, the threat was enough to keep French's name trending for all the wrong reasons. It was the ultimate irony. The man who once flexed as untouchable, dining with royals, jetting across continents, dripping in diamonds, now looked like a pawn in a much bigger game. To the culture, his moves screamed desperation. To his critics, they screamed guilt. And to his fans, they raised the scariest question of all. If French really sold himself for protection, what does Diddy have that could make a man run this far? By the time French Montana's engagement headlines had gone international, the internet wasn't buying the fairy tale anymore. Fans didn't see romance. They saw strategy. And when whispers turned into leaks, the entire story went from suspicious to downright explosive. The first crack came in the form of an alleged voice note, supposedly recorded during one of French's late-night Dubai hangouts. The clip, which surfaced on Twitter and spread like wildfire, captured a man sounding eerily like French saying, "I gotta stay clear, bro. When he gets out, it's gonna be chaos. Over here, nobody can touch me." The internet didn't even wait for confirmation. Memes labeled it the Royal Witness Protection Program, with French painted as the first rapper to trade verses for visas. Then came the screenshots. An anonymous blog posted DMs allegedly between French and a longtime industry friend. In them, French wrote, "This ain't about love. I need safety. Man's got dirt that can bury me." Whether real or fake, the timing couldn't have been worse. Overnight, the narrative flipped from "French is living his best life" to "French is hiding in plain sight." And that's when the dirt on Diddy started to bubble up. Remember, Diddy wasn't just French's business partner. He was his benefactor, his gatekeeper, the man who introduced him to rooms he never could have entered on his own. But insiders claimed Diddy never gave out favors for free. Word on the street was that he kept files, receipts, videos, situations, on his closest allies, French included. The rumors got nastier. Luxury trips that looked like vacations but were really setups, parties that weren't just parties, moments caught on camera that could sink a career if they ever leaked. One insider claimed bluntly, "French owes everything to Puff. Puff owns him. That's why he's running." Fans dug through old footage, and suddenly everything looked suspicious. The infamous French Vanilla Ciroc launch clip? Reframed as a humiliation ritual. The birthday serenade? labeled as evidence that French was locked in deeper than fans thought. Every smile, every hug, every cozy moment became part of a bigger conspiracy. That French Montana wasn't just Diddy's protege, he was his property. And Meek Mill's clowning only poured gasoline on the fire. His jokes about French selling himself didn't feel like punchlines anymore. They felt like revelations. In a culture where authenticity is everything, French Montana now looked like the biggest fraud in the room. Not just for allegedly betraying Diddy, but for abandoning the man who built him while trying to buy new protection overseas. The Dubai angle made it even juicier. This wasn't just some celebrity marriage. This was French tying himself to one of the most powerful, most controversial families in the world. And fans weren't shy about reminding him who he was dealing with. Princess Shamsa, kidnapped in London. Princess Latifah, locked in a villa after trying to escape. Stories of Sheikh Mohammed's grip over his daughters weren't forgotten. French wasn't just playing with love, he was playing with fire. Critics warned that stepping into this family came with consequences far greater than hip-hop drama. One journalist bluntly tweeted, "French Montana traded one leash for another. Only this time, it's gold-plated." Another fan wrote, "If he thinks Dubai is protection, he's in for a reality check. Royals don't play about image. One wrong move, and he's gone." Meanwhile, Diddy's camp stayed quiet, but not silent. Rumors spread that Puff was furious at French for distancing himself, and whispers suggested he was ready to remind the world exactly how much French owed him. Blogs hinted at vaults of footage and confidential deals that could blow French's reputation apart. Whether true or exaggerated, the fear was real. And French's smile in Dubai started to look less like joy and more like panic dressed in Dior. The culture had already made up its mind. French wasn't a romantic groom-to-be, he was a desperate man playing chess with his life. The timing, the engagement, the distance from Diddy, all of it screamed calculation. He wasn't building a new legacy, he was running from his old one. And this is where the real cliffhanger begins. Because if the leaks are even half true, French Montana isn't just facing memes and gossip. He's facing a potential implosion that even Dubai money can't cover. If Diddy really holds receipts, and if the internet ever gets its hands on them, no palace wall will keep the scandal contained. For now, French keeps smiling for the cameras, posting sunsets and royal dinners, pretending like the noise doesn't exist. But the louder the silence from Diddy's camp gets, the scarier the fallout feels. Because in hip-hop, one thing is guaranteed, the truth never stays buried. And when it finally drops, French Montana may wish he never left Diddy's side at all. And that's the bombshell nobody saw coming. French Montana, once celebrated as Diddy's golden boy, now tangled in whispers of betrayal, royal protection, and receipts that could blow the roof off hip-hop. What started as Meek Mill clowning turned into something much darker, a storyline where survival matters more than loyalty, and protection might be worth more than love. But here's the real question. Is French Montana truly in love with Princess Shikamara, or is this just the smartest business deal of his life? Did he walk into a royal romance, or into a golden cage guarded by one of the most powerful families on earth? And if the rumors about Diddy's vault of secrets are true, how long can French really hide before the truth comes crashing down? Because let's be honest, hip-hop never forgets. The clips, the birthdays, the vacations, the whispers, they're all waiting in the shadows. And if even a single one of those alleged receipts leaks, French might not just lose his reputation, he might lose everything he thought he secured in Dubai. So now it's over to you. Was this a move of desperation or domination? Is French Montana playing chess while the rest of us play checkers, or did he just write himself into a scandal he can't escape? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear every theory, every angle, every piece of gossip you've got. And if you're riding with the raw, unfiltered truth, don't just scroll. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next scandal before it breaks.